I want to talk to you about the Diary of a CEO, and Stephen Bartlett is one of the top podcasters nowadays, one of my favorites. And I really want to talk to you about the Diary of the CEO, what you can learn from the podcast, and how you can really emulate his skill set to actually improve your own podcast this year. So let me first talk about the host. So if you think about Stephen Bartlett, I want you to think about a British podcaster, a British entrepreneur, speaker, investor. You have a host who's multi-talented. What I love about Stephen Bartlett is not just the magnetism, her character, her storytelling ability, but also her ability to navigate very complex or very unique topics with the CEO in a very relatable way. So that's really cool. And by the way, Stephen Bartlett is in his 30s. So you have a relatively young podcaster. So if you think about Stephen Bartlett, I want you to think about investor, but I want you to also think about entrepreneur. So he's not just interviewing CEOs or let's just the corporate leaders. He has himself has proven how successful he can be on his own. Okay, so he's an accomplished investor in the health and wellness space. So this is kind of cool. And but what I love about Stephen Bartlett, about the show, really about the host, rather about the host, is that basically you have a host that's based in the UK, so he's British, okay, but he's been known internationally, especially through YouTube. Okay, that's kind of cool, and so you have the ability to actually get to learn a lot from the host, but most importantly, you learn a lot from his insights that he really infuses. I mean, he actually shares through every episode. So think about Stephen Bartlett as an all-in-one character, as a multi-talented, okay, investor, innovator, disruptor, but also a public speaker too. So that's really fantastic. And one thing I want to say also is that basically the Diary of a CEO, that show started only 8 years ago, so it's not really that long. But over the last of nearly 10 years, the show has really accumulated a lot of views, a lot of millions of views. So let me talk about the show here. So I first wanted to talk to you about the host. Now let's talk about the show. So basically, if you think about the Diary of a CEO, I want you to think about a journey, really. So, and you are actually having a journey through a journey through the remarkable stories of the people that have actually done a lot in the corporate world, but also in society in general. Okay, so when you think about Diary of CEO, of course, Stephen is talking to a CEO, is talking to a leader, is talking to somebody who has accomplished something either in the business world or actually on the nonprofit front. So that's an important element. And what happens here is that the show is pretty straightforward, pretty weekly. Okay, it's a weekly. So Stephen will sit down with some of the world's most influential people and thinkers. Okay, and he will embark on a curiosity-driven journey, and so he will go through very complex topics to really help his audience discover untold truths. Okay, so unlearned lessons and important insights that basically he hopes, okay, will make his and the audience's lives more enjoyable, more successful, and more fulfilled. So that's an important element. And one thing I also want to say here is that when you think about Stephen Bartlett, especially about the show itself, I want you to really understand that he's constantly inviting all kinds of guests. Okay, from Harvard professors to let's say top CEOs. Actually, I mean, if you go on YouTube, for instance, you will see that some of his interviews have actually accumulated millions upon millions of views. That's really fantastic. And again, what I love about Stephen Bartlett is the fact that he's been consistent throughout. He's been really consistent. Here is a hardworking man. Okay, new episodes are being dropped every week. That's really important because he's really making sure that he's consistent. So and his audience loves that. So, why do people love the show here? When you think about the Diary of a CEO, why do people internationally, okay, not just in this country, because like I said, Stephen Bartlett is actually British, but he has folks in the States. He has fans in the States. He has fans in Europe. He has fans in Asia. He has fans in Africa. He has fans all over the place, okay? And people love the fact that basically, if you come to the Diary of a CEO and you actually listen to Steven's interviews, you really see originality. Like Stephen Bartlett is very, very original, and there is no sort of. I mean, he's very honest, and his personality actually shines through the interview. And what I love about Stephen Bartlett is that he's constantly challenging his guests, but also challenging himself. It's all about the quality of the interview. It's all about the quality and the depth and breadth of the topics that Stephen Bartlett is actually talking about. Okay, so originality is really important, and Stephen Bartlett also does something very good in terms of structure and planning. So you can see that his podcast is really really well structured. Okay, and what I want to say also is that you have the possibility to actually see how Stephen can navigate pretty complex topics in a very structured manner. He also pays attention a lot to engagement and audience participation. So if you go on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcast, you will see that Stephen Bartlett's his team has made things in a way that he's able to actually sit with guests and really engage, no matter what the topic really is. People love the show also because of Stephen's storytelling ability. He's able to articulate stories with great precision, okay, and also making sure that the audience is pretty interested in what he's talking about. So that's really fantastic, okay. And you also have the ability through Stephen Bartlett's show to see that he's able to connect with guests at a very deep level. Again, no matter how complicated the topic is, of course, Stephen Bartlett does his research before inviting guests on the show. But once the guest is on the show, Stephen can have a conversation, and you can see this is a very natural conversation. His ability to get into to all kinds of topics and really make sure that his audience understands the importance of the topic and how his audience can actually benefit from the topic. And he does it. Let's say episodes after episodes after episodes. Let's talk about how Stephen Bartlett really monetizes his entire empire, his entire talent. Okay, let's first talk about his speaking tours. So Stephen is a very well known. He's very known for his discipline on speaking tours, and he makes money. He makes money through speaking tours, big time. Okay, and the cool thing about speaking tours is that Stephen is pretty flexible. He will discuss, let's say, a specific topic. So the last speaking tour that he actually successfully completed was all about entrepreneurship. He gives priceless wisdom on how to start, building, and scale a thriving business. Okay, and again, you are speaking about somebody who is multi-talented, and he's able to bring wisdom from multiple angles to his audience. Okay, and the cool thing is, if you want to really participate if you want to attend one of his speaking tours, you just have to go to his website and you will able to buy tickets there. I mean, if you're lucky, if he's coming to a city near you, you can just go and listen to Steven big time. He's a really, really, really well, I mean, very articulated speaker. Fantastic, okay? And that's really fantastic. So that's the first way that Steven actually does money. I mean, he makes money through his ventures. Another way for him to make money is through the Dragon's Den, which is kind of similar to the Shark Tank in the U.S. So this is actually a great show in the U.S. In the U.S., this show is very very popular, and so it's also in the U.K. But in the U.K., they call it the Dragon's Den. Okay, and but the cool thing is that he also receives a lot of publicity, a lot of royalty, a lot of revenue, also through his participation through that show. Okay, and Stephen Bartlett joined the Den in Series 19, and he became actually the youngest ever dragon, at just 28 years old. That's really fantastic. Really, really wonderful. He's young but very talented, very articulated, very focused, and very disciplined. And I personally believe that he deserved it. He should have even joined the Dragons Den like a little earlier when he was 25 years old because he has done what he has done in the last 10 years just fantastic. Another way Stephen Bartlett makes money, and I love it. I love the way he's able to diversify his avenues of revenue, and he makes money through a company called the Flat Group. So this is actually a company that does a lot of things, and he founded or co-founded. That's how you want to look at it. He founded or co-founded that company. So when you think about the Flat Group, I want you to think about an amalgamation of various things. So they do media, they do marketing, they also do investment. Okay, so basically you are able to get some or you're able to get a lot of support and a lot of insights too. So that's really fantastic. Okay, and the company invests in talented founders, leaving inevitable missions that will bring about a better future. That's what I love. They really are going out of their way to invest in companies that really are going to shape the future. So that's really fantastic. So basically, the Flat Group focuses on blockchain, biotech, health and well-being, commerce, technology, and space. So you can see that Stephen Bartlett is a visionary. Okay, if you think about it, I want you to think about his vision to sort of what Elon Musk had 20 years ago when he was going about SpaceX. People thought he was crazy, but here we are today, and look at where he's at. Fantastic. Another way that Stephen Bartlett makes money is through a company called Third Web. So, what I love about Third Web is that Third Web is all about Web3 development. So, this is about coding. This is about like think about the Third Web as a platform that provides a suite of tools for creators, artists, and entrepreneurs to easily build, launch, and manage a Web3 project. And Stephen Bartlett also makes money from that venture as well. And what I've seen in the last few years is that Third Web has been very, very, very successful. Okay, has actually helped thousands of entrepreneurs, thousands of artists, thousands of creators actually get their job done. So this is really, really fantastic. Wonderful. Another way that Stephen Bartlett makes money is actually through his books. What I love about Stephen Bartlett is that he's a very prolific author. Okay, he has a series, and it's not just about being author of books. He has all kinds of material, and I'll explain later on. First of all, you have his best known book. That's the Diary of a CEO and the 33 Laws of Business and Life. So this is actually not a book about business strategy, okay? Because if you think about it, strategy will change like the seasons. Strategy will change based on the trends. Strategy will change based like your strategy during COVID, for instance, when everybody was home, is going to be different from your strategy to date, right? But the book is really not talking about strategy per se. The book is talking about something more permanent. Okay, think about it's not tactics either. Okay, maybe you can think about it as a foundation, as a strategic foundation. Okay, so this is kind of cool. Another way, actually, Stephen Bartlett makes money is through something he sells, and that's called the conversation cards. So the conversation cards actually are meant to spark, deep, meaningful conversations. It's a series of cards that you can have at a party, you can have at an event where you can spark a conversation. Okay, deep, meaningful conversation. I want you to look on the screen right now. Here is the man holding the cards. So this is how the cards look like. The Stephen Bartlett's cards. Okay, and you have the cool thing is you even have QR codes at the back of the card, so you can really maybe even scan the QR code. And I'm showing you on the screen here. Here is a larger view into the card. You can see it, okay? And so that's really cool. And one thing I want you to really understand here is that The conversation cards are actually a series of question and answers from some of the best thinkers in this world. Okay, not just about Stephen Bartlett, but also from the likes of Adam Alter or Paul Bronson. So you have a lot of very well known luminaries who are actually who chose to actually get into this game. So from first dates to chats with workmates, the conversation cards offer you a way to bring people closer together, encouraging honesty, reflection, and understanding of your relationship with yourself and your nearest and dearest. Okay. So whether this is as a post-dinner party game, road trip fun, a long-haul flight, a family reunion, or just a sporadic desire to know someone better, these cards promise to break down barriers, cutting through years of relationship to get to the hearts of the people in your world. So that's really fantastic. Another way Stephen Bartlett makes money through his podcast, but also through other mediums, is actually through the diary. So the diary actually is not really a book per se. It is actually a first of its kind product. Okay, this is actually the diary that coaches you back. So the diary invites you to start your 12-week journey of an introspection. So the thing is, when you buy the diary, you have to really commit to 12 weeks, at least 3 months. Okay, and so you are going to have introspection, you are going to have self development, and you are going to have self awareness. Okay, so every week you are able to reflect in the in the beautifully, let's say, put forward pillar that Stephen Bartlett has put together, whether it is about work, your finances, your health, or your relationships. Okay, then through QR codes, you are able to be taken to your online account to receive tailored coaching and recommended materials from world leading experts within each industry. So this is kind of cool. I mean, you have a guided itinerary, a guided itinerary. So basically, this diary is your guide to an unimaginable potential. You also have another book where Stephen Bartlett makes money by selling it. That's called The Happy, Sexy Millionaire. Okay. So basically, here, you are able to see how you can intersect money and personal happiness. Okay. That's a pretty important. And so in this book, Stephen admits that he was fundamentally wrong about all those things and shares the journey that he went on to find key answers to life's key questions. So it's more about introspection, but also more about self development. So that's really fantastic. But also self awareness. So but those books are really fantastic. One thing you would have seen is that as of now, Stephen Bartlett doesn't have merch as of yet. Okay, in terms of monetization, he also doesn't have membership tiers. He doesn't have events with fans yet. But those things will come. I mean, this is a young man, and chances are he's going to grow. He's going to have an entire empire very soon. In conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about the diary of a CEO. I spoke about the show itself, why people love the show, and the monetization strategies that Stephen Bartlett has put in place to actually conquer his audience. Fantastic. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.